Yo, what's up? So this story time's gonna be about the time me and my cousin snuck out and we almost got caught by the police. So yeah, let's get right into it. So me and my cousins, we were all at my cousin Darion house. We was at his mom's house and everybody else I'm not gonna say their names. But we were all at his mom's house and we were just hanging out and our other cousins that came they were just visiting, so I was thinking, since they're just here for a temporary time, we might as well like do something. And it was night, and it was cool. I always like nighttime, so I was thinking, okay, whoever goes to sleep first, they're getting pranked. And so we end up going in my girl cousin's room, and we get this big. We check and we see that she sleep, so we get this big 2 liter, and it's a video of it, but I'm not gonna show it. We get this big 2 liter of water, and we fill it up even more because at first it was like halfway, and then we walk into her room, splash her with it a couple times, and then run out. Throw the bottle at her and everything, and run out. And then I'm thinking we should go in my cousin's Darian. We should go in my cousin Darian room and do the same thing to him, but with a bowl. And I try to open the door, and he must have heard us, like heard everything, because I opened the door and his bed was blocking the door. Like it was like a nice gap where I can see him, and he didn't wake up when the door like whacked the bed. So I was like grateful for that. And I just closed the door quietly and ran downstairs. And so when I went downstairs, I'm telling everybody, yeah, his door's like blocked, but we can still get him. And I get a bowl and I fill it up with like kind of hot water and cold water, trying to make it like warm so you can just I don't know what I was trying to do, but I was just trying to get them wet. That sounded weird. And I walked up there. We all walked up there. And I was being the cameraman for this one because the first camera guy was not fucking good. He was ass. So I was recording this one. And they throw water on him. And we just chill out. He doesn't come downstairs. We stay downstairs and we just watch movies. But the entire time we hear stuff going on upstairs, like scraping and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And we hear a thump. And I'm like, okay, let's go check on Darion. We go up there, and he's not in his room. And we're thinking, like, where could he? Like, he couldn't have gone anywhere. Now I'm like, right now, this moment, I'm thinking I should have checked the window because if I did, it'll make complete more sense. Like, completely, it'll make complete sense to me. But we get a phone call, and it's off of my phone. He calls me. He's like, "Come outside," and I'm like, "No, like who is this?" And then I hear a bang on the door. He bangs on the door and runs in front of the house. He says, "Come out, come outside. I got a surprise for you." And I'm like, "Nah." And after a while of negotiating, we come outside, and they had like the sidewalk. It was a school right next to their house, right next to their house, and on the side of that school, it was a big gap where like this staircase was, this brick staircase was, and next to that staircase, it was a gate. And so the brick staircase it like went up and curved to the right. So the right side was like it was like a big brick right there. So you could not see anything past that way if unless you walked up them stairs and you like just saw. So we head down that way and we were looking at the stairs. I'm on the bottom of the stairs and my cousin creeps from around the corner and he's at the top of the stairs and he says, "So what's up?" And we're like just sitting there having like an awkward standoff. I got my like everybody's behind me, and he's the only one up there. And I'm like, "Okay, why was you behind?" I think he's like, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And I'm thinking, "You have water back there." He's like, "Bro, I swear to God, I don't have water." I'm like, "I know you have water. You might as well stop lying." And he's like, "Bro, just come here." And I'm like backing up. And after a while of us talking, I take a step closer and I see him reach for a bucket behind the like black concrete, and I jump back and he throws water and it gets all over my shirt, all over me, and he just starts laughing. He gets over all of us except him because he threw it, and so he starts laughing, and we're thinking since we're out, we should like go do something else. We're all fully awake. We don't want to go back to sleep, so we're thinking, okay, we're gonna leave and go to the school. We go to this school and we all get on this roof we just basically have the time of our lives. We get on this roof. It's some school that's not abandoned. It was like not even summer, but we were on like spring break, or we were on something break. We were on something, and we didn't have to go back to school. So we end up going. No, it was summer. It was summer, but some people say summer school, so it was still open. And so we get on top of the roof, and we're like just messing around. The first time we do this multiple, like 4 other times. The first time we are just messing around, having fun, doing anything we want. The second time we bring snacks and stuff, and after a while on the roof, like for the second time, I'm starting to hear sounds and stuff, and I'm like, I'm starting to like hear things, and everybody's telling me, like, yeah, okay. And the third time we get up, and I'm like, we hang out until nighttime, and we go higher, even higher on top of the roof, like because this ladder is this little platform that leads up to another one, and another one, and another one, and so we climb up on that one. Everybody was a little scared, but I got on top, and then I just came back down. They were terrified from you going up there. It was like, oh my god, bro, Nathan, be careful, please be careful. And I'm like, okay. So I go back, I get back down, and after we're done walking for a while, my leg, I don't know why, but my leg just got stuck and like I couldn't move it. And I'm telling them like, hold up, I can't move, I can't move. And they're like, what? What's going on? And I'm like, I can't move. And out of nowhere, I hear like the door slamming. I'm like, did y'all hear that? And they're like, no, what? What are you talking about? They start laughing at me because they think I'm joking. And after like 3 seconds of them laughing, they hear it, and we all pause. And literally, my heart drops, and they're like, "We gotta go." It was like completely dark outside. Nothing was like really illuminated light, but the street lights. So we're like, okay. And my oldest cousin, he has the same name as my mom, Adrian. He was he said, I'm out, and I'm right behind him, like, let's go. So we're leaving out, and he jumps off the roof, like this little short platform. I jump off, everybody else comes off. And Lord behold, there was a big old cop truck in front of the school all the way down the gate. And I remember the third time we left, I asked my auntie, can I use your mask? She said, yeah, as long as you bring it back. And I like, well, before we got on the roof, I left it at the park in front of the cops. I mean, in front of the school. And so I saw the cops, and they were right by that park. And from their point of view, they had like this big bear light. And from their point of view, we looked like just some hoodlums that came out of the darkness. So they ended up pulling up, and they started turning towards us. And I'm thinking, I got to get that mask. So I turn for the mask, and I walk right past them. And they just leave me alone. And my cousins, like, they're looking at me like, bro, what are you doing? What's going on? And I get the mask. I see the cops stop, and they just take off. I'll grab my mask, and I walk like a regular civilian. And then after I see the cops like not there anymore, I don't know where they went and just disappeared. They just respawned somewhere. After I seen that they weren't there, I'm like, I'm not gonna get left in the dark outside alone, so I bolt after them. And when I get after them, I catch up to them, and then I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, what? Why did y'all just run like that? And my cousin Darion, he's like, bro, like, I don't know. They started running, and I started running, and I look around, I'm like, where are we? And they're like, we're downtown. Like, we're kind of downtown. We're heading there. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all right, let's have fun with this while we can, because we never really usually do this type of stuff. And I'm looking around us, and this is probably the weirdest part of the story. I look up and I see that we're like in this, we're not in, but we're in front of this strip club. And the lady outside of the strip club like had a bra on, and it was like 50 degrees outside. Had a bra on and like some stripper panties. I'm like, what the? I don't say it, but I'm like, bro, she had a scar. She had like cigarette burns on her. I'm like, bro, you are rated PG for real. Like, dog, you need to go inside. And she just looks at us. She looks at us, and one of my friends, my youngest cousin, he's trying to be funny. He's like, hey, I got an ID. Let me come in. She's like, nope, nope. And y'all tell more about this story in the next one. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Sorry for this major cut off.